Being mediocre is, I can't imagine participating in a sport and being middle of the pack. I need to be on top.
I don't think it's really about redemption anymore, you know. I've moved on from that and I'm just looking to be the best fighter I can be.
My goal is to get my first win in the PFL cage and continue on 2 more wins and become the PFL champion.
As soon as I won the title, felt like more pressure and a bigger want to do it again.
Wilkinson becomes the first PFL champion from Australia.
A guy like him, I just like to wear him down and see what other bad habits he has.
I'm aggressive. I walk forward, I throw hands, I'm looking for the finish. I'm trying to hurt my opponent every chance I can get.
I'm going to march through my first fight, USA versus Australia. I am just eager. I've been waiting for this moment.
Welcome, PFL fight fans, once again to Orlando, Florida. The World Tournament first round concludes tonight with light heavyweights and heavyweights. Sean O'Connell, Randy Couture, Dan Hardy for one last event in the first round of our PFL World Tournament coming at you from Orlando, Florida. It is the heavyweights. I'm going to point at Randy when I say heavyweight, the former heavyweight champion. The light heavyweights. I'm not a light heavyweight anymore, but I'm going to pretend. Dan, sorry. It's the big boys tonight.
It's okay. I'm kind of catching up with you guys anyway.
Heavyweight World Tournament first round action up next. Rodrigo Nascimento versus Abraham Babley. This is your heavyweight tale of the tape. Nascimento, 32 years of age. Babley, 29. Nascimento, the Brazilian, the taller fighter here. He's got 5 inches of height advantage on the man from England, and that translates to a reach advantage as well. Round 3 starts off hot. Big combination from Abraham Babley.
Like if I'm sorry, Sean, if I'm in Babley's corner, I'm not 100% sure that he took that round. I felt like Nascimento was really having a better time of it that second round.
AI scored it 53 for Nascimento, 39 for Babley. The verdict fan score agreed that Nascimento stole round 2.
We got a 1 round apiece. Gonna just come down to who has their way in this round. Babley came out strong, let his hands go.
I think there was an anticipation that Nascimento was going to get tired quicker. And I have to say that American Top Team have prepared him very well. Babley getting some hassle from the fans for clinching here.
There's dirty boxing and clinch work is what won him that first round, so it's not a bad idea to go back to it in this third round.
If I'm Nascimento, I'm going to work hard to get off the fence here because I felt like I was having some success with my straight punches. It's like Babley's trying to instigate a takedown here.
Nascimento has 6 submission victories in 11 pro wins, so Babley's going to want to stay on top if he can get this fight to the ground.
But he can't move from side to side, so your pressure's good, but he can strike more. He can strike more here. Your pressure's good, but strike more. Right? Head position. Head position. Right? Then strike. Yeah.
Another separation here. Babley switching stances twice.
We got our own custom takedown shots this week, didn't we, Sean?
We did.
For our in-cage demos.
Yeah, little smart cage breakdowns.
I think we look pretty stylish. Obviously not as good as these heavyweights with the big quads, but you know.
Speak for yourself, Dan. I look incredible in those shorts. Big hook miss there for Babley.
Yeah.
Nascimento made him pay for it with a 3-piece.
Nascimento is doing a really good job of just staying disciplined and chipping away. He's doing nothing outlandish. He's not trying to land any single kill shot. He's just doing a good job of accumulating points.
Staying in the center of the ring and pot shotting. Nice jab, nice right hand, right down the middle, just like that. But keeps his back to the center. Doesn't let Babley tie him up on the fence or in the clinch.
Nascimento staying technical. Elbow into a takedown attempt here from Babley. 2 minutes left. Heavyweight contest winner advances in the PFL World Tournament to a semi-final. Loser goes home.
Head position, please.
Back to head position for Babley. He's got to be careful of these knees. That was a nice knee from Nascimento.
Very nice knee right up the middle. Looked like it caught Babley on the chin.
Look at the striking totals, so close as back and forth these heavyweights go.
Keep striking, stay busy, Coleman. Stay busy, stay busy, stay busy. Busy work,
I think Nascimento's done a really good job after the first round of just accepting that he needs to keep landing pot shots no matter what. And Babley's almost been trying to look for the perfect opportunity to land the cleanest punches.
Babley's been doing a good job of fighting his way into the clinch, but been less effective at striking and landing things in that clinch. Well, Nascimento in the open position has landed that jab, landed that right hand, and controlled the center of this cage for this third round.
Agreed, Randy, like he is doing now. Good footwork, nice simple jab, keeping Babley on the back foot and just trying to avoid these big power shots that are coming around the sides. Nascimento really making the most of this reach advantage that he's got, really making it evident coming into the last 30 seconds.
Oh, nice move. Really nice move.
And then he stepped right back into a hook from Babley. But even moving backwards, Nascimento landing. Ate a left hand.
20 segundos é comigo. Se você parar aí, você vai perder. Vamos. 20 segundos. Sai.
There are 10 seconds left and there are less than 10 strikes in it.
Nasty left. Babley can't afford to show off right now. Nascimento still trying to get this fight finished. We go to the judges' scorecards. Back and forth fight. I do not envy them their decision here.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 hard-fought rounds by these two heavyweights, we go to the judges' scorecards. Jason Grenier scored the fight 29-28 in favor of Babley. Marcel Varela scored the fight 29-28 in favor of Nascimento. Suleiman Miranda scored the fight 29-28 in favor of your winner by split decision. Moving on to the semifinals of the PFL World Tournament, Enrico Nascimento!
Elation for Nascimento, dejection for the one and only Abraham Babley. Nascimento with a 12th professional victory, his 4th by decision. Our first light heavyweight world tournament bouts of the evening. Sullivan Colley, 28 years old. Alex Polizzi is 33. Colley is 4 inches taller, and that translates to a 4-inch reach advantage for Sullivan Colley. Alex Polizzi coming off one of the biggest wins of his pro mixed martial arts career. Last time out, he beat the big lift. Colley able to maintain balance.
Head outside single attempt by Polizzi. Nice scramble by Sullivan. Colley.
Polizzi going for the same takedown. This time he is able to get Sullivan Colley to the ground, controlling those legs.
Man, this is strong by Polizzi. The kids are going to be drinking milk after the weigh-ins from this point on.
We're going to find out if Colley's lactose intolerant.
This is good pressure, though. He's in on the legs. He's got those knees bound together, trying to elevate the legs best he can. You can see Colley's setting up a switch here, but his legs are too close together, really, to get any movement with this.
Polizzi tried to step over and put those leg irons on so he could mount some offense with his hands, but for now, he's having to wrestle to keep Colley on the mat.
Colley doing a great job of stiff-arming that head and keeping Polizzi from working his way up.
Man, look how Polizzi's driving into the top of the thighs of Colley, which is what's really making it difficult. You can see Colley posting on the shoulder and trying to drag his legs out, and Polizzi's just climbing up him like a glacier in reverse.
He had a temporary figure 4 lock on those legs. Colley elevates back to his
he's hurt.
Nice elbows.
His legs are gone.
The Travis Brown elbows! And Sullivan Colley
work with those elbows. You saw his legs go a few times. That's that killer instinct, man. You can just see it in Sullivan Corley. It's so natural to him. Look at those elbows. Really powerful, Randy, right to the side of the head.
Right to the side of the head, then a couple of fists. Knuckles him up a little bit. You see Polizzi's legs go out right there. Keeps landing those elbows, then the right hand coming in hard. Referee has seen enough.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Kevin McDonald stopped this fight 1 minute and 36 seconds in the first round, declaring your winner by TKO, Sullivan Colley!
Sullivan Colley advances to the semifinals as we look at our bracket. We'll face the winner of the main event tonight. Let's get back to more of the 2025 PFL World Tournament in the iconic Universal Studios in Orlando, Florida. Oleg Popov, Carl Williams up next in heavyweight World Tournament action. Here's your tale of the tape. Popov is 33 years of age. Carl Williams is 2 years older. Williams also an inch taller, weighed in 10 pounds heavier, and has a 3-inch reach advantage. Let's pick up the action in round 3.
Carl Williams is coming right back up to his feet. Here we got Popov, who's in deep on these singles, gets him down and he pops right back up. It's got to be frustrating for Popov.
Yeah, good point, Randy. He goes to all that effort to put Carl Williams on the mat, and before he knows it, Williams has scrambled back to his feet, and all that energy was for nothing.
And he's getting elbows and punches in the ear hole on top of it.
Look at the way Carl Williams just compromised the neck position of Popov, forcing his head down toward the mat. The body follows the head. My Russian is not good enough to know what is being said to Oleg Popov from the corner right now. But you have to wonder what the strategy is, continuing to pursue this takedown while also absorbing strikes and not having success in holding Carl Williams down, even if you do get him to the mat.
Yeah, I would be trying to get him to break and strike a little bit, Popov. I feel like he's probably got the better gas tank here, the better mobility when he's out at space. And I just think there's always a concern that Carl Williams might crack him with something. Because Popov's not the biggest of punchers, right? He's not going to land something solid on Carl Williams with one shot. It's going to be a slow deterioration. Look at the big deep breath from both of these guys. 2 minutes to go.
A restart from our referee with 2 minutes to play. Williams with a big body kick.
Got some noise in this studio tonight with these two big boys.
A little more forward pressure from Carl Williams.
Popov tried the counter left hook as Williams kicked the inside of his leg.
These boys are both tired.
That work against the cage is not always the most exciting, but it might be the most grueling form of fighting. Oh, good hook from Popov. Can he string something together behind it?
Popov certainly still has some pop left in those punches.
How many times have we seen that hook from Fedor Emelianenko in his old fights?
Oh, and he charges forward into the clinch. Williams has got to keep his back off the fence here. He tries, but Popov drives forward inside the last minute. Good effort by Carl Williams here. Doing a good job of fighting that wrist, trying to pass it across the body to his other hand. There's the frame again across the face. Goes for a knee, big knee.
Nice big knee by Williams.
Double unders here for Popov. Can he make something happen? Or will, no, Carl Williams builds this frame.
And that first knee nailed 100 strikes landed for Williams compared to 35 for Popov. I know he's been on the takedowns a lot, but you've got to think the striker to Carl Williams is starting to run away with this a little bit, at least on the numbers, and now he's in on his own takedown the last 10 seconds.
Big swings.
Williams separates and throws two big ones. To the judges' scorecards we will go.
Judge Solimar Miranda scores the fight 29-28 in favor of Williams. Troy Winkapal scores the fight 29-28 in favor of Popov. Jason Grenier scores the fight 29-28 for your winner. Advancing to the semifinals of the PFL World Tournament, Oleg Popov.
So Oleg Popov advances to a semifinal matchup on the strength of his control and wrestling against the cage. And he will face Rodrigo Nascimento. Another heavyweight contest up next in our PFL World Tournament. Here's your heavyweight tale of the tape. Alexander Romanov, Tim Johnson. Romanov, 34 years of age. Tim Johnson rounded it out at 40. Johnson is an inch taller, weighed in 1 pound heavier, and has a 2-inch reach advantage over the man from Moldova. Let's pick up the action in round 1. Romanov's in the blue, southpaw stance. Tim Johnson will oblige in the dark trunks.
That is some big boys. Not sure whether Kevin McDonald was trying to get a good perspective or just to stay away from him. That was a lovely big left hand.
Double jab there from Johnson. Tried to triple it up. Romanov backed out. More work on the lead leg from Johnson.
Always seems to take Johnson a minute, and you know, the taking of a couple of punches perhaps to get him started.
Spoke with Johnson at the official weigh-ins while we were discussing whole milk as a recovery drink, and he was mentioning the difference not only in physicality but the difference in confidence when he does have a real camp leading into these fights. He's got sparring rounds in as he punches his way into a clinch here. And he knows he's got a gas tank, Randy.
Maybe we need the sponsorship from the Dairy Farmers of America tonight. I don't know. Nice knee by Romanov.
Smart work by Tim Johnson here, keeping that head wedged. Oh, groin shot.
Low blow. Referee stops this one, and we'll give Alexander Romanov some time to recover.
Just stay in a neutral for me, all right? Start 5 for me, please. Did you get that on
Tim Johnson didn't seem to think that he had hit the cup.
You can see Tim Johnson in the position. He was using his head underneath the chin of Romanov to keep some space, and as he threw that knee, of course, the space closed down. He caught him in the groin.
Just help me out and stay over here. Oh, it's all right.
Alexander Romanov indicates to the referee he's
okay?
ready to continue.
You do have 5 minutes, so you're okay? Yeah. Okay, stay back for me, okay? Just be clean, gentlemen, okay? Ready on the time? Let's continue.
A restart with about 3:30 left in round number 1.
Nice.
That's a lead uppercut by Tim Johnson.
He's
Just
got some
missed.
very clever ways to get into the range. Oh, this is good.
Alexander Romanov with a first-round guillotine.
Wow, caught him standing. It looks like Tim Johnson may have popped a rib. He's holding his chest. He had him in a strange position against the fence with that front choke and applied his hips. And Tim Johnson started tapping immediately. I'm thinking he popped his rib.
We'll take a look at the replay. Johnson ducked under a combination from Romanov and found himself stuck. King Kong with a big squeeze.
Right there, you saw the second he applied that hip pressure, you could see the bend in Tim Johnson's body and the tap immediately.
That's a big lift because Tim Johnson had to cut to make 265, so he's tipping the scales heavier than that today. And Romanov had him on his tiptoes with that neck crank / choke.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Kevin McDonald stops this fight 1 minute and 53 seconds in the first round for your winner by submission guillotine choke, King Kong Alexander Romanov.
Romanov advances to the heavyweight semifinals. One more bout to come on our main card. A co-main event matchup between Valentin Moldavsky and Sergey Bilisteny. Whoever wins that earns a matchup with Romanov. Let's get back to more of the 2025 PFL World Tournament from the iconic Universal Studios in Orlando, Florida. Up next, a light heavyweight contest in the PFL World Tournament. Here's your tail of the tape for Carl Albrechtsen and Simeon Powell. Albrechtsen, 31 years of age. Simeon Powell, still only 26. Powell stands 6'5", making him 3 inches taller than the man from Sweden. And you can see a significant reach advantage favoring Powell, 9 inches. Let's pick up the action in round number 2.
Ready? Fight!
PFL World Tournament action happening in the Smart Cage. Light heavyweight contest between Simeon Powell in the dark trunks, Carl Albrechtsen out of Sweden in the blue. Big swing over the shoulder from Simeon Powell, and as they go chest to chest, Albrechtsen is able to reverse position.
He doesn't have a buddy. Can we get some shoot shots? Nice. What's the elbow break?
Albrechtsen looking strong in these positions. I'd like to see a bit more footwork from Sim to try and get him off the fence here. But I don't think Albrechtsen at any point is going to want to tangle with the long-range striking of Sim. So he's either here or he's defending takedowns. Oh, again with the elbow from Albrechtsen. Great timing on that. You can really see he's studied that hole in Simeon's game.
So now Simeon Powell struggling under, ducking to the back of Carl Albrechtsen and trying to drag the Swede to the ground.
Simeon with a little shuck to take the back of Carl Albrechtsen. What can he do with it from here? Trying to drag him down.
He surprised everybody with that arm triangle submission over Mo Amin. Maybe he just got sick of defending the takedowns and decided he was going to try and turn it on his opponent.
Well, it was interesting to see kind of the latter part of the first round, especially that final minute. Simeon Powell, I think, maybe accepted that he was going to have to fight at close range. He wasn't just going to be able to stand up and work out here. So he landed a really good elbow and uppercut. And, of course, now they go back to distance.
Yes, Sim's trying to pick his perfect punches. Oh, that was beautiful lead uppercut. I'd like to see him show some elbows in this range as well.
Nice knee.
Oh,
and then
on command. He's connected.
Oh, that's a plan.
Albrechtsen's in trouble.
Is swinging away.
Albrechtsen's in trouble. Another big elbow.
A nasty right elbow.
Albrechtsen in trouble. That's it.
The second round.
He's back.
He says to the broadcast desk, I'm back.
That was beautiful. When you got space for those elbows, my goodness, how did Albrechtsen take so many of them and stay on his feet?
Albrechtsen's trying to get in. Simeon Powell, great footwork, changes places, pushes him back against the fence, stays on the inside, doesn't let him off the hook. And there you saw that first elbow. There's a second and a third. They're landing flush. Now you're going to see a big one right there. That was flush on the money. Number 3, there's the left hook. Right hook misses, digs into the body. Watch this elbow that's coming. Boom, right on the money. And that puts Albrechtsen down, and it was short order from there.
That was brutal.
Referee Christopher Mignocchi stops the fight 2 minutes and 5 seconds into round 2 for your winner by TKO, Simeon Smooth Powell.
A smooth performance from Simeon Powell as he improves to 11-1 now as a professional, his 5th knockout victory. And we look at our light heavyweight bracket. We'll find out who Simeon Powell fights at the semifinal when Antonio Carlos Jr. and Carl Moore face off. Up next, more light heavyweight action. Antonio Carlos Jr., Carl Moore. Let's take a look at the tail of the tape for this first round matchup. Shoeface, Antonio Carlos Jr., the 2021 champion, is 35. Carl Moore, the longtime contender in the Bellator ranks, is 33. Moore is 1 inch taller. Both men weighed in at that light heavyweight limit of 206 pounds. Reach advantage goes to Antonio Carlos Jr. Let's pick up the action in round 3. 5 more minutes.
Round 3, guys.
In a World Tournament fight in the light heavyweight division. Southpaw stance again for Carl Moore. Antonio Carlos Jr., former PFL champion, backing up to the cage. Body kick there from Moore.
That was a solid body kick. I'd like him to use a feint and start throwing some more hands like that. That was better.
Landed a counter hook and then a straight left. Shoeface shook his head and smiled, said that didn't hurt, which usually means that it didn't hurt.
Yeah, exactly. I've got Shoeface in the lead here, 2-0. Yeah. Moore's going to have to really make something happen in this third round.
And interestingly, Carlos Jr. has managed to encourage him back into the clinch as well. If I'm Carl Moore, I'm looking to anti-clinch here and try and get free. Strike out of this with elbows.
Like Moore shifted gears in the second round and started working for his own takedowns. He hasn't really had success with it, but that's where he seems to want to be.
There's Simeon Powell, bottom right-hand corner. He hasn't even cut his wraps off yet because he wanted to come back and watch who he was going to be fighting in the semifinal. He advanced. Winner of this one will be his opponent.
Great work by Shoeface. His clinch pummeling is really quite impressive. Used his head position very well, utilized his footwork to move him into the right positions. Good work by Carl Moore there.
He's able to get his back off the cage. Now can he do anything with the improved position is the question.
He still seems dead set on trying to take Antonio Carlos Jr. down. Now he's in range.
Thought about a switch knee, did Carl Moore, but Antonio Shoeface ducked under and stymied the positioning. Wouldn't give him enough distance to uncork that technique.
Big double leg attempt by Antonio Carlos Jr. here. Moore pulling him up with that whizzer.
Yeah, it's just frustrating for Moore. It's exactly what he expected, and he's not really been able to do a great deal about it. He's been building some frames and landing a few shots, but this is where he needs to work.
Landed an uppercut on the inside, did Moore. Left hand. There's this takedown that Antonio Carlos Jr. has used many times, but a successful sprawl for Carl Moore. Shoeface rolls. Up kick here from Shoeface. Nasty one to the side of Carl Moore's head.
We've got 90 seconds left here, and I think that Carl Moore can see Shoeface is starting to wilt here a little. Doesn't mean he's still not dangerous off his back, as we know. But if this was the start of the second round, you'd be thinking that Carl Moore was going to run away with this. But with Shoeface being up 2 rounds, it puts a lot of pressure in this last minute for Carl Moore to really make a difference. And then we go back to that illegal knee, and we think how a point deduction may have played into this. Again with the up kick.
Antonio Carlos Jr. somersaults all the way over, now to his knees. Carl Moore trying to extricate his right leg from the grip of Shoeface, who appears content to just hang on. Left hand hammering at the side of Shoeface's head for Carl Moore.
Yeah, there's better angle for Moore.
30 seconds to go. Boogie choke attempt here.
Carl Moore's trying to set up a shoulder choke on Antonio Carlos Jr. Not able to do it.
Almost a full mount by Moore here.
He's got that 3/4 mount. If he can get his right foot all the way down, pushes back out to half guard instead.
I've got to wonder what Simeon Powell's thinking of this fight.
Big elbows from the top here for Carl Moore. Oh,
heel hook attempt.
Shoeface cranks on the heel hook attempt right to the bell. But we'll go to the judges' scorecards for this light heavyweight contest.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 incredible rounds, we head to the judges' scorecards. Judge Troy Winkapaw scored the fight 29-28 in favor of Carlos Jr. Marcel Varela scored the fight 29-28 in favor of Moore. Jason Grenier scored the fight 29-28 for your winner by split decision. Cara de Zapato, Antonio Carlos Jr.
Shoeface moves on to the semifinal matchup where he will face Smooth Simeon Powell. A split decision victory. So the 2021 PFL light heavyweight champ is still in play in this light heavyweight bracket. Will Rob Wilkinson make it 2 former PFL champs, or will Phil Davis advance in the main event? Let's get back to more of the 2025 PFL World Tournament from the iconic Universal Studios in Orlando, Florida. An all-Russia heavyweight contest up next, and here's your tail of the tape for Valentin Moldavsky and Sergey Bilisteny. Moldavsky, 33 years of age. Bilisteny still only 29. Both men standing 6 feet 1 inch tall. Only a scant few pounds separates them in weight, and 2 inches of reach favoring Bilisteny. One of these heavyweights moves on to the semifinals in June. Semifinal
Final
month
round, you ready?
with 3 events in the PFL World
Fight.
Tournament. Nashville, Wichita, Chicago. Tickets are on sale. Sergey Bilisteny in the dark. Valentin Moldavsky in the blue. AI score gave round 2 to Bilisteny. Randy, is Valentin Moldavsky down 2 rounds?
I think he is.
Oh, he landed a right and he ate one at the same time.
I do have it 2 rounds to 0 for Bilisteny. Moldavsky has to make something happen in this round, in my opinion.
I agree. I do think the second round was a better round for Moldavsky, though. I felt like, he applied a bit more pressure and a bit more confidence with his striking. We've got Alexander Romanov sitting cage side as well, and he's really enjoying this fight.
King Kong from Moldova will face the winner of this co-main event. Our betting expert Ian Parker is here in the building with us at Universal Studios. Ian, what do you think of this fight so far?
I'm surprised Moldavsky waited this long to try and drain out Bilisteny. He took a big breath at the end of round 2. I thought that round was a little bit closer, and the way the judges have been tonight, who knows what the scores are. So it could be 1-1 at this point. If Moldavsky comes out and dominates this round, I wouldn't be shocked if he steals it. That was an elbow to the back of the head.
Don't hit him in the back of the head.
That has been a stylish weapon tonight in these exchanges against the smart cage. Referee gave a warning for the back of the head.
This is a better effort from Moldavsky. He's a bit closer to the takedown than he ever has been, but still, Bilisteny is just so powerful, and he's just well balanced, isn't he? Like that frame inside is really causing Moldavsky some issues, and every time he lowers his level, Bilisteny just hoiks him up again, lifts him back up to a clinch. He does look like he's slowing down, though, I have to say. Bilisteny looks like he's really taking some deep breaths.
Yeah, you can dig those underhooks and deadlift your opponent back chest to chest only so many times before that gas tank starts to dwindle. Good shot to the midsection there from Moldavsky. And like I said in round 2, Randy, I thought this would be the approach from Valentin Moldavsky earlier in this fight. He's having success with it in round number 3, but is it too little too late?
Ian brings up an interesting point in how the referees, or the judges rather, see and score the fight. Moldavsky did get here and force the fight to happen here, but he took some shots in doing so. And now he's back to it in the third round and definitely controlling so much of the minutes of this round and where it happens, how that weighs on the judges' score.
Mouthpiece came out for Bilisteni, it looks like.
Yeah, that shows you how deep the dress are taking if he's lost his mouthpiece.
Don't move. Stay there, but don't move. Okay, work.
Look through ref cam as he restores the gum shield.
1 minute left in this fight. Got to wonder what's going through Bilisteni's head. Does he feel like he's ahead on the scorecards 2 rounds? Does he feel like he needs to catch Moldavsky with a big punch in this last 45 seconds? I certainly think he's going to try.
There's a lot of effort from both of those guys in these last 4 minutes for Bilisteni to stay upright, for Moldavsky to try and get his opponent to the mat. Another shot to the body from Sergey Bilisteni.
Yeah, I'd like to see him do a Gatti Ramanov and come up to the head after that shot to the body.
Clash of the heads there as they finish that combination.
Stop.
A little tape hanging off of Moldavsky's glove.
Fight.
Final 10 seconds. And we'll go to the judges' scorecard.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 incredible rounds here in your co-main event of the evening, we go to the judges' scorecards, where all 3 judges scored the fights 29-28 for your victor by unanimous decision, Valentin Moldavsky.
So Valentin Moldavsky advances. He will face Alexander Romanov in a semifinal coming up in June. Main event matchup in the light heavyweight division. Tail of the tape here for Phil Davis versus Rob Wilkinson. Mr. Wonderful, the former Bellator champion, is 40 years of age. Rob Wilkinson, former PFL champion, is 33. Wilkinson is 1 inch taller. Both men weighed in at the light heavyweight limit, 206. Phil Davis has the very slightly longer reach.
Let's go.
Touch of the gloves between these 2 competitors. Good jab there from Wilkinson to open the action.
Always get unusual movement from Phil Davis on the outside. He's so difficult to predict the way that he moves. Switches stance, changes his rhythm. Two nice calf kicks. Second one was partially checked by Phil Davis. Then we're going to see a level change pretty quickly here. If he takes any more of those kicks.
...2008 national champion in Division I wrestling at Penn State University. Phil Davis has used that to his success in past MMA fights. Rob Wilkinson expects that Phil Davis is going to try to get onto his hips and take him down early in this fight.
Phil Davis almost like he's edging into range here. I think he's trying to tempt Rob Wilkinson to open up so he can level change under the punches. Oh, that was a good body kick. And we know Phil Davis has got good kicks, great setups as well, as we saw in his fight against Linton Vassell. That was a good right hand over the top from Wilkinson. All of a sudden, Phil Davis looks a little bit lively from that punch.
Blinking and moving back and forth, getting on his bike a little bit. Did not like that right hand. Chucked an overhand right himself, which has landed in the past. Good awareness from Rob Wilkinson.
Wilkinson's doing a good job of cutting off the ring, taking away real estate. There's the level change. Nice sprawl by Wilkinson.
Level change was almost forced by Rob Wilkinson. Good work with the over-under here. Push Phil Davis against the smart cage.
Some hammer fist to the thigh. Rob Wilkinson looking strong in this position. Good turn by Phil Davis though. And this is really where he's going to start utilizing his game. He's got great trips and reaps, good lower body takedowns.
Rob Wilkinson had an absolutely miserable cut to get down to that 205-pound limit for this fight.
Makes you wonder how he ever made 185, crying out loud.
And again, he took the lead leg away.
He's landed several of those, and actually that level change that we saw Phil Davis start was partially forced by that calf kick early.
Well, you can imagine how much more difficult his wrestling is going to be if that lead leg's compromised. And I think he's doing a good job of hiding it. But a moment ago, when Rob Wilkinson started moving forward, throwing, the priority for Phil Davis was to pick that lead leg up and protect it.
Wilkinson told us that he had moved back to Australia, back home to Hobart, to his original gym where he started his career. He'd been training with an elite team in Denver at Factory X, but last year he said he just felt flat. And I gotta say that he looks a lot sharper than we saw him at all in 2024.
I think Rob Wilkinson's looking really good here, really smart, really disciplined. Clearly knows how good Phil Davis is and respects him tremendously, but is doing what he needs to dismantle his lower body with that calf kick.
Good combination there from Mr. Wonderful. Phil Davis touched Rob Wilkinson with a 1-2.
And again with the right hand.
Big right hand and the left behind it for Wilkinson. Off balance, Phil Davis there, at least temporarily. Another calf kick. 8-1-2 for the efforts, though, did Wilkinson.
It's the first we've seen Wilkinson back up the entire fight.
Good right hand over the top there for Phil Davis, giving Wilkinson something to think about.
Yeah, he's moving his head out the way really well, though, Rob Wilkinson.
Main event, light heavyweight contest. The winner advances to face Sullivan Colley in the semifinal in June. June is semifinal month for the PFL World Tournament. AI score gave round 1 to Rob Wilkinson. There's Sullivan Colley, looking on with great interest to see who his next opponent will be.
Interesting feedback from Phil Davis's corner. They asked him to just put offense in Rob Wilkinson's face, and the rest of his game will open up from there. They also asked Phil to start working on the lead leg of Rob Wilkinson as well, partly probably because Rob Wilkinson's been having some success with that himself. Here he goes again with the calf kick.
Fastball right hand, and the left hand pounded out the rest of the way.
Knocks him off balance with that right hand, chased him down and goes fast 1-2 again. And Wilkinson's trying to push forward here, doesn't want to get backed up against the fence. Here we go. Bam, right hand, right on the side of the face. You can see Wilkinson's legs go. Phil Davis is piling on the pressure here, landing some shots. Wilkinson's covering. What a fantastic right hand that was from Phil Davis.
Wow. Phil Davis, 7th knockout victory of his decorated career, punches his ticket to the semifinal. Shows no signs of slowing down at age 40. Phil Davis lands a big right hand against Rob Wilkinson early in round 2 and hammers out a finish to advance to a World Tournament semifinal.
Ladies and gentlemen, at tonight's main event, referee Kevin McDonald stops the fight 51 seconds into round 2 for your winner by knockout, Mr. Wonderful Phil Davis!
The 25th win of his pro career, Phil Davis books a date for a semifinal against Sullivan Cauley.
I'm bringing in President of Fighter Operations, Ray Sefo, and your next opponent is a tournament format. You're both through to the semi-finals. Sullivan Cauley, Phil Davis. What a fight that is going to be, ladies and gentlemen. The present of the light heavyweight division and the future of the light heavyweight division.
Thanks for watching the first round of the 2025 PFL World Tournament.
Hey, what's up, guys? This is Francis Ngannou. Subscribe now to the PFL MMA YouTube channel.